We at the Lincoln Project are confident that Donald Trump understands his position. Elon is smarter, wealthier, more charismatic, has a far superior and more successful social media platform and company.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of...
It's the place where Americans look for leadership when the night is at its darkest and when the dawn breaks brightest.
Melania Trump, the woman who's mastered the art of the emotionless stare, apparently has a breaking point, and the Lincoln Project found it. When their new ad featuring Trump's most embarrassing moments aired near Mar-a-Lago, witnesses report hearing Slovenians screaming and the sound of breaking objects from the Trump residence. What's even more interesting is what happened after. According to sources close to the couple, Donald and Melania are now sleeping in separate bedrooms. Former Trump aide Anthony Scaramucci claims that this reaction confirms what insiders have known for years, that nobody hates Donald Trump more than his own wife. I've got all the juicy details about the ad that pushed Melania over the edge. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Remember when political ads were just boring blah blah about taxes and healthcare? Well, the Lincoln Project just blasted that tradition to bits with their latest Trump takedown.
The Lincoln Project salutes Vice President Donald Trump. As Vice President, Trump will finally have the time to do the things that make him happiest.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of...
Talk about old movies, playing on his phone, admiring the assets of other men. Meanwhile, President Musk can get down to the business of running the country.
These guys didn't just make a typical attack ad. They constructed a psychological bomb designed specifically for Trump's fragile little ego. What makes this so fascinating isn't just what was in the ad, but where they placed it. These political ninjas didn't just throw their creation onto YouTube and hope for the best. No, they strategically aired it in Washington, D.C., and, get this, the local TV markets surrounding Mar-a-Lago. And not just any time, but specifically during Trump's known TV viewing hours. They basically scheduled their attack around his TV habits, like he's some toddler who needs his Paw Patrol before nap time. This wasn't random timing, as one insider put it. They were delivering a psychological payload directly to Trump's eyeballs in real time. It's like they knew exactly when he'd be lounging in his gold-plated recliner, Diet Coke in hand, ready to absorb whatever Fox News was serving up that day. And boy, oh boy, did it work. According to witnesses, Trump didn't just get annoyed, he completely lost it. His face reportedly turned a bright tomato red shade, and he started sweating like an ice cream cone in July.
We at the Lincoln Project are confident that Donald Trump understands his position. Elon is smarter, wealthier, more charismatic, has a far superior and more successful social media platform and company.
You want to make any comment about this Lincoln Project ad?
Yeah, no, I saw it. They should call it the Losers Project.
Let's lay that into rapid response.
You know, the White House is more than just a building. It's more than 18 acres of land in Washington, D.C.
One source said he was physically transformed by rage, which honestly sounds like something out of a Marvel movie where the villain starts morphing into their final form. A political analyst described the whole thing as psychological warfare executed by people who understand Trump's fragile ego better than he understands it himself. That's not just a burn. That's a third-degree burn with complications. They knew his kryptonite wasn't losing elections or policy debates, but being laughed at and looking weak. What's most brutal about this whole situation is how the Lincoln Project basically proved their point about Trump's temperament by getting him to melt down exactly as predicted. It's like saying, this guy can't control his emotions, and then watching him immediately throw an emotional tantrum. The Lincoln Project didn't just create content, they weaponized Trump's own psychology against him. They knew his greatest fear wasn't losing power, but being portrayed as Putin's puppet or weak and pathetic. And like expert psychological snipers, they hit the bullseye. Could one political ad actually crack open the facade of America's most scrutinized marriage? When the Lincoln Project's missile hit Mar-a-Lago, it wasn't just Donald who went nuclear. Melania's reaction revealed something far more shocking about what's really happening behind those gold-plated doors. While everyone's used to seeing Melania's stone-faced expressions at public events, what happened after that ad played was something entirely different.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for Trump.
It's the place where Americans look for leadership when the night is at its darkest and when the dawn breaks brightest.
And to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God.
Trump plan will kill us.
End is coming.
He thinks he's God.
Multiple sources at Mar-a-Lago reported hearing something they never thought possible. Melania Trump absolutely losing it, abandoning her Ice Queen act and shouting in her native Slovenian. Talk about a language barrier coming down. That carefully constructed image of calm composure vanished faster than Trump's campaign promises, according to one insider. This wasn't just a little tiff either. Eyewitnesses described a scene straight out of a reality show meltdown special, crashes and bangs echoing through the residence, with objects hitting walls and shattering. One staffer admitted, "I didn't know what was happening, but I knew to stay far away from the East Wing." Apparently, Trump's personal belongings were getting the air miles treatment, with his precious red MAGA hats being used as makeshift frisbees against the walls. Who knew Melania had such a good throwing arm? Remember Anthony Scaramucci, the guy who had a White House career shorter than most people's vacation time? Well, the mooch dropped a truth bomb when he said Melania straight up hates Donald.
It's a commitment to the Republic and to our sacred Constitution.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
The Lincoln Project is a political organization.
According to Scaramucci, this isn't news to anyone in their circle. It's such common knowledge that he actually judges other people's dislike of Trump by what he calls the Melania standard. When your own wife becomes the measuring stick for how much someone can hate you, that's not exactly relationship goals. The aftermath wasn't pretty either. Sources confirmed that the Trumps are now sleeping in separate bedrooms at Mar-a-Lago. I guess even all those gold fixtures can't fix what's broken between them. The physical distance between their sleeping arrangement seems to reflect the emotional Grand Canyon that's formed in their relationship. What's really fascinating is how one political ad managed to accomplish what years of public scrutiny couldn't. It cracked the perfect porcelain veneer Melania maintains and exposed the volcanic frustration underneath. It makes you wonder, has she been silently seething this entire time while smiling for the cameras? What the Lincoln Project pulled off was basically a masterclass in how to mess with Trump's head. They've shown everyone that you don't need fancy policy arguments to take down a guy like Trump. You just need to know which psychological buttons to push, and boy, do they know those buttons. With Brett Ratner now directing Melania's documentary, we might finally get to see her side of the Trump saga. Imagine the behind-the-scenes footage. Will she spill the Mar-a-Lago tea? That's going to be must-see TV. And if Trump runs in 2024, his opponents won't just attack his policies. They'll go straight for his fragile ego and rocky marriage. The Lincoln Project didn't just create an ad, they wrote the whole dang instruction manual on breaking Trump's brain.